Welcome to a reassuring word from Coach Jace. This week's episode, the mystery that is friendship. Has friendship been elusive for you? Do relationships sometimes seem like more trouble than it's worth? You may have overlooked some simple and practical solutions. Live a balanced life so that you can always trust yourself. Always forgive everyone, including yourself. Never stay in an unhealthy relationship. Make it work if possible, but if not, let it go. I once had a conversation with an old pal about our first year in college and how everything seemed so much better back then. He suggested that maybe it was because of how we looked at things. It was perfect because we expected it to be. He's changed his mind about our friendship since then. I wish him Godspeed, as I do all old friends. Friendship is one of life's great mysteries. It can be strange and unpredictable. People are sometimes fickle. There are some I once cared deeply about that I don't even know anymore, and others that I never would have expected are now my most loyal friends. Not everyone is trustworthy, and some relationships may become unhealthy. At times like this, it may become necessary to take a stand for yourself. As with any subject, there are varied ways of taking a stand for yourself. The reason for this is that we are all originals, and therefore our needs are unique to each one of us. Just because something works for one person definitely does not mean that it will work for another. Just as taking a stand for yourself could mean admitting that you need help, it could just as easily mean that the time has come to tell everyone else to just plain mind their own business. Only you know which technique is right for you, and which will bring you the desired results. Don't ever be so rigid that you're unwilling to be open to new possibilities that may become apparent. Just as an example, taking a stand for yourself could involve the need to isolate yourself initially. As a result of taking time to be alone, you may be able to find the answers you were seeking. And it could be the complete opposite of what you originally thought. Maybe that person or job or whatever the case may be is suddenly not so objectionable. You may even discover that the answer was before you all along. It's just the approach that gets to be different. Regardless, always love yourself enough to listen to that inner voice, because you're worth it. On the subject of losing friends in our modern age, life coach Tara Glenn had this to say, quote, "So what should a person do if they find themselves removed from a friends list on social media? Honestly, nothing. I never reach out and ask if it was a mistake, and I do my best to not take it personally. I feel like if it was a mistake that they'll notice it eventually and reach out to me and apologize. And if it wasn't, then they won't. Refusing to reach out myself also spares me of the awkwardness of the conversation itself, as I really don't want to hear why that person did delete me in the event that it was for a negative reason. I try to always be my best self, both online and offline, and if that person doesn't understand that, then the problem is with him or her, not me. While I do share some of my upsets on social media because I like to stay real, I also try to maintain a positive outlook on life. I feel that if a person can't be happy for me when things are going good and offer advice or virtual pat on the back when they're not, then I'm really not missing anything when they delete me. It's like the trash took itself out." End quote. I feel that my old college buddy may have been onto something. Perspective can make all the difference. I had a tendency to romanticize friendship more in my younger days. I'm a deep, sensitive, and emotionally high-strung person. I'm not always the easiest guy to get along with, causing me to appreciate those that have stuck around all the more. As with most of us, I've fortunately mellowed with age. In this crazy world we live in, it's sometimes hard to know who we can trust. A good starting point is to assume the best about everyone. That isn't usually our initial reaction, but if it were, we'd be more likely to get just that, people's best. Usually people live up to others' expectations of them. If we assume that they're bad, they tend to feel that there is nothing to lose in treating us badly. On the other hand, if we hold them in their greatness, they feel a responsibility to live up to that. The only motivation that serves everyone is to love each other unconditionally. What you give is what you get. I would rather err on the side of mercy than judgment. I prefer to be what a friend once referred to me as while holding me in my greatness, a healing light. I feel a responsibility to live up to that. More than that, I feel a love in my heart that inspires me to do so. Thanks for listening. Now go take on your life.